Hi, Sue Wilson, and I have a lovely wisteria frame to share with you today. It's really a nice card that you can use for just about any occasion too. I'll show you what we'll be using. Got a couple products here. We have the hexagonal border. We're just going to add a little accent on the diagonal corners with this one. This is the wisteria frame, and it's really nice. It's got some beautiful vines going through it, and you've got a lovely sentiment that goes with it too. And we're going to be doing some embossing first with the Brambled Rose embossing folder. I've got a piece of lilac card here, and it is 5.5 inches by 6.5 inches. Do some embossing with that. So I'm going to bring in my Brambled Rose embossing folder. Put that inside and put that and our raspberry adapter plate to get our sandwich. There we go. Get that open. And got some lovely texture with that as our background. I think that's really pretty. So what I want to do is I want to take the hexagonal borders and I'm going to put them on diagonally. So I'm going to get a little bit of spray glue on these, get them tacky with the Cosmic Shimmer using one of the fine applicator bottles here. That should give me enough to really grab hold. There we go. Pop that to the side. Just about, roughly about like that, I think. Let's just sort of eyeball that. As long as you've got the top edge covered all the way across, I think you're pretty good. And this one, just about the same sort of orientation there. There we go. Give it a second, and then we'll trim the excess bit. Just even with the edge of our emboss folder. There we go. And this one's needs a tiny bit of glue right there on the corner. I'll add that in. There we go. Just put a little bit under this corner, just as being kind of stubborn. That should do the trick. So I'm going to go ahead and put that onto a white matte base. Let's use some double-sided sticky tape here. Go. Let's put one more in the middle. Hold that on there really well. Just a tiny little white mat showing. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring that into our base, and I've done the paper piercing with the white layer and a little bit of a lilac card in there just to draw in those colors. There we go. Put that into place. Okay, we're going to come back to that in a moment. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've cut the wisteria frame in a tan card and in a white card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the tan. This is going to be my base. I've got some Vintage Photo Distress Oxide, and I've got some Walnut Stain. So the Vintage Photo is a little bit lighter, so what we're going to do is just pick this up and sort of bring in some color. Because you've got all this lovely embossing, it'll pick up and highlight some of those lines coming in, showing some of the vines and whatnot. And where the actual wisteria is, I'm not worried about going over that at all. I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a minute, excuse me. And bring that in. Just give it a little bit of definition there. I'm going to bring in some of the walnut stain and kind of go around the edge. I find it's easiest to sort of pick it up like this. Just bring in kind of a tight little edge there, going that way. You can get in with the tips of the Smoothies too if you want. Just sort of draw it along. There we go. I've got one I've done earlier, so I'm going to be very quick about this, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Just to sort of highlight some of that vine going around there, okay? So I like that. Now I'm going to pop over and work on the white one, and for this one I'm just going to do the wisteria, and I've got Wilted Violet and Seedless Preserves. So you've got two sort of pinky purpley colors coming in here. So I'm going to use the tip of this, and we're just going to go over very quickly and highlight all the little wisteria areas with some of the seedless preserves. And this is more of a, it's definitely more of a pink tone to it. There we go. I think I've got them all. And then we're going to bring in some of the wilted violet, just sort of add in a bit more color, sort of tone it in and get some more depth into that wisteria. There we go. A little bit like that. And as it dries, it sort of blends together too some more. So don't panic that you think it doesn't look exactly perfect. It will look really nice when it's finished. And you can just do a really quick job here too. Okay, like that, and a little more in this little guy here. Okay, so what I've done, let me put these back away. What I've done with the frame is I've gone through and I've just cut these and I've laid them on top. So you've got a little bit more dimension coming through this way, I think, and it really does get the sense of that vine going around that frame. I think it's really lovely like that. The die also comes with a backing edge, so I've cut one that's exactly this, the sort of shape around it. So we are going to add some glue to the back of this. Just sort of run it along. Get all these little vines and all the little wisteria areas. And if you do want to do one frame and not cut them and put it on top, you can easily do that with the Smoothies too. The colors will blend beautifully. I just love the way it really does pop that out because you have a more distinct look to it. Let's see. That looks like it's the right way around. So you've got what I call a nice shadow frame on there. Pop that down. I'm going to bring in my base piece. And I've got some mounting foam to raise that up. So you see the little bit of border behind it. That'll go right into the middle of the card. And with the wisteria frame, you've got a beautiful sentiment that says thankful for you. Now I've done this one in the same backing colors, and I've just pounced over it, and I've cut this one out of the lilac card, so we're going to use that as a shadow. So I'm going to add a bit of glue to this, pop that right over that. Now once you put the ink on, you've got to make sure that's good and dry, or you will not be able to get anything to stick to it. And that has been dry for a while, so this shouldn't be any sort of issue. But I've still got that same sort of pinky purple look coming in. And we're going to add some glue to the back of this. There we go. And a tiny bit more Cosmic, I think, will help that catch just a tiny bit better. And that is going to go right in the middle here. And you can add some little pearls to the edges of your border to accent it, but I think that's a very, very lovely card. And perfect for a gardener or any sort of occasion, I think. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget, look for us again on our YouTube channel soon.